Alright, last video of the day here, and we're going to discover the 5G plays that I was looking at, and a couple of them actually started looking a little bit more juicy, and I actually made a position in one of them this morning. A small position, but regardless, I am involved with one of them now. So, maybe I spelt that wrong, but one of them that I did look at in one of my previous videos, if you were with me back then, is Marvel. And you can probably see the way that I trade for the most part. I like to trade the breakout into the all-time highs. So we set that point at about 36.60, and we can see on the monthly time frame we are still positively moving, and we did have a nice little bump to the upside. Now I would have liked ideally to see some consolidation in this phase, but hey, when you see the breakout, you see the breakout. Now, this isn't a chart that I'm just going to hold forever and ever, all man. This is something that I want to see a nice little rise, and I'll get out of here. But yeah, we entered in at about 36.60 right here, right as it broke up, and it's always nice when you see it pop up and gain a few percentages of value. Just makes you a little bit more comfortable with a little bit of fallback. So right here on the daily, I seen a nice little reversal. We had a nice little tip right here, and we did this breakout the all-time highs. So just a perfect storm right there. And it's like, well, why the hell are you telling me afterwards? Well, I mean, I guess, what am I doing, eh? I mean, this has a dividend even. Like, holy smokes, I didn't even realize. You don't see that very often in the charts I'm looking at, but yeah, I guess this even has a dividend. So it's not too far out of the gate yet, but also realize that we might be at the end of a little miniature run right here. So looking back at the month, we are somewhat high here too. I mean, it's not like unbelievable to have a little bit more of a push up, not at all, especially since we have been more or less having higher lows progressively, right, all the way through here. So I wouldn't see anything below 1650, but that's quite the ways away from where we are right here. So let's just be humble in that estimation that it's not crazy to see some type of move down in here before we come back up. But regardless, I am involved right now. I will tell that and disclose that openly. And yeah, we are somewhat up quite high on the weekly. So I'm hoping that we can continual push upwards because we had a little bit of reversion. Typically I wouldn't enter in because of that, but since we are at the all-time highs over a much larger cycle, sometimes you can just enter in at those points and you never have to worry again until it starts going downward. So I'm in on this company because that's what I set as my pre-existing conditions for me to enter, and we can see we're just coming right there and we just crossed over. So I think that there's going to be a little bit of a nice gain here, but it wouldn't be crazy just to see a little raise and come back up. So this was just a little swing trade here, and yeah, another example of the same pattern. I don't know why this line's right there, so we'll just delete that one there. So the other one in the 5G world that I did kind of was looking at, VMW, VMware, and this is on the American one here. And sometimes I might look like I just got punched in the face from the side when I look so dumbfounded because I'm on the wrong time frame. Because I know you guys know I like these cup patterns, right? So it's a little bit more of a ugly cup here, but I knew that if we could get above the 125.25 zone, it was already above that. I wanted to see it come back down and then come back above it. And it looks like I was a little bit lazy and it started to reversing. Let's say right here. Well, I guess that's March, so it's not like I'm too lazy. I can't remember where I did the video, whether it was still coming down or if it was starting to come up, but I wanted to see it go above the 125 and then make a lower low above here. And that would kind of signal to me that, hey, we're starting to move upward. So I don't have a position in this one, let's just be honest with that, but it did break out of this downward little trend right there. So that's a pretty positive thing for me. And the thing is, like, here we have a relatively close stop loss, so I'd be putting this 125 as a stop loss if you wanted to come into this one. On the week, we're still marching upwards. It's a little bit of a curl here. It did break out though. So yeah, you can see right here, man, like if this gets supported right there, that's pretty darn positive. And we could continue to kind of move upwards in this direction. Now, I'm not as bullish as this as I was, let's say, with Marvel. The thing is, like, we can see a nice little pop right there, and then it crashed right down. So that's where you don't really want to lose money. You don't want to buy. You don't want to buy, sell, and then let it go up again. That's not really uplifting trading. But regardless, this is a 5G company that, I mean, 5G probably won't do too horrible. I mean, it's just like, let's just be more specific here. See what the hell this shit is. Spin around. Digital workspaces, transforming security. I mean, yeah, it's definitely involved in that tech aspect. And again, I don't own any of this one. There's just so many other trades that I'm eyeing up. It doesn't look as juicy as I'd like it to be. But regardless, if you just love 5G and you want to make 5G trades, I mean, this is somewhat hovering above its all-time highs, and it has popped it beforehand, and it's dropped down, and now it's coming back up, and it's kind of popped above that, a little bit more of a short-term resistance. I mean, yeah, ideally I wouldn't want to play this one. It's not as juicy as it looks as Marvel, but yeah, regardless, I thought I would follow up on some of the assets I looked at with the 5G plays, and this one doesn't look horrible. I mean, there could be potential here. Just with all the other things, like, I don't like it on the daily here. It might. Yeah, you guys aren't going to be looking too uplifted here, but we do have a nice little thing on the weekly, and we've had a pretty good run here. So I'm a little bit more indecisive about this one, guys, so just take it as exposure, you know, and if you're involved with this, you can ask me questions, or I'm not super confident in this one, but it's always nice to see it break out of these little short-term downward trends. This one's definitely a little bit uncertain. We definitely don't want to see another lower low, so it would be pretty uplifting to see a higher low, and especially if it could be above this all-time high of the past. I mean, I'd be a little bit more bullish there. Anyway, that's all I'm going to do here. This is the 4th video I've done, so if you watched all of them, I guess thank you. I mean, not that I really care, but yeah. Hopefully everyone has a good day. That's what I care about, okay? Everyone take care.